It's on. Alright, so how's everybody doing? Uh, I really don't have a particular topic on the table. The fuck am I gonna talk about? But I gotta be talking about something. So okay, um, the the magical card, that is credit card is coming up presumably at what, next Sunday, I think. It's like everything gets unlocked, at that time. Um, being able to buy shit. I have but you know, the shopaholic, buying problem. But I have this text folder as well as like Excel. Uh, very meticulously keeping track on what I spending my money on. So in that regard, I've been able to maintaining uh somewhat financial responsibility. What I'm gonna buy, it's something that's on a sale in the one of those flea market site. God, I hope it doesn't get sold out. I just wanna check this shit out and get this thing over with. And just, not worry about the things anymore. Oh, which one? Just, having the anxiety of, you know, essentially, uh, oh, would I be able to buy this or would I be able to buy that and all that crap? It's like, I don't know. And of course, I'm planning on, this already talked about, not in English though. Uh, did I? It's sort of a, well, it doesn't count the auto translation thing. Wait a minute. Let me take a look at this one. Uh, the loss in frame rate is not much. So I guess most of them are intact. That's great. Is anybody gonna click the shit? Absolutely not. But again, that hasn't stopped me from anything. Uh, God, can't wait for the next fucking Sunday to show up. Of course, tomorrow I'm gonna have a stream, and along the way, maybe something interesting come up. Sometimes not, you know, just boring ass. just not really have anything in mind that I'm talking about. Right now, I don't have anything that's in particular um that I'll be talking about. It's like tomorrow, excuse me, yesterday I've talked about music, and that led me to made a clip, and also as a follow up, um, decided to make a video which has got like 26 clicks. Emphasis on clicks. It does not necessarily mean the thing has, the thing was watched. Like, uh, you know, for the duration that the video has been taking place. A lot of people, and this is according to the analytics on YouTube, uh, this says a lot of people, my 10th episode of the streaming, I don't know why the hell this thing has 140 click. What the hell's going on? But average view duration, it's like 2 minutes and 24 seconds. It's like out of like how long is this? Probably that was when I was still doing like um an hour and a half video, uh rather stream. So I it's either the YouTube doesn't know what the hell uh how to get the shit up on the algorithm. It's either that, or it is actually true that you know people are clicking it either by accident, or like oh, this guy sounds like an asshole, I can't stand his enunciation, you know some I don't know, whatever reason. This people make up all kinds of reasons to hate on somebody. So I don't know, who knows, who knows what really let these people to click a dislike on a certain video. This one particular video that has a shitload of viewers is also this one. Okay, from this point on, I've started to stream for 2 hours. Has 142 quote view unquote, but like I said, it's more of a click. How many times it was even clicked at all is, I don't know, kind of a being put on as a number of views. Seriously, what's the chance of getting clicked on as a, you know, somebody who may not even, people not even consider me as a streamer, just, doing for shits and giggle. I'm not sure. Whereas streaming in Japanese uh has a lot more chance of getting clicked on. All these times, granted, just twice, uh, that I actually got commented on. God, it's been a while since I got any of that whatsoever. But anyway, yeah, both of those were taking place during the Japanese stream. See, when you look at the chatting stream and take a look at select the language, Japanese, and try and scroll it down and watch how many people are watching. And essentially watch how far do you have to scroll down in order to reach bottom, where in a stream where nobody's watching. To make a comparison, let's try and do the same thing for the language in English. Yes, scroll down a little bit, and there's a shitload of people with let's see, 2-digit number of people connecting at the same time, while I don't know, mine is like not even showing up. Is that because there's too many freaking videos that they can't be bothered to show my content? Is that it? Anyway, for somebody like me who has one viewer, that one people always have, when they have no viewers, it always display as one viewer, and you can see that by this chatting session. You can see who is in the chat, and you can see the name of yourself and nobody else. So that's really a good indicator of that one viewer being yourself. So yeah, this is not, of course, I'm not sure. Wait, hold on. What language? Alright, let's try it again. In English and scroll down to as as low as I can possibly. There's more people showing up. It just takes times. Hold on, I don't even see my names on it, and the chatting thing, and the language is beyond English. I I have no idea why. Hmm. Okay, so with that says that there's a limitation to how many videos can be shown by scrolling down. So kind of in that way, I didn't even make it on the list because uh I don't have anybody watching whatsoever. Hold on, I'm gonna take a sip. See, whereas in YouTube may not, the chances are even slimmer. It can even suffice to say none to have people getting connected to as nobody, you know, as somebody who doesn't even have any subscriber, not knowing, not being known anywhere else, just absolutely nobody. The streaming in Japanese is more popular in my opinion. I guess this is probably more true. Uh, anyway, streaming is more of a popular in YouTube among the Japanese, whereas in English it's the other way around. The Twitch is like the main platform of this, the streaming, like hub. Hmm. So does that mean I should stream in English on YouTube? No, I don't think so. Because nobody's gonna watch that shit anyway. Although, uh, occasionally this is presumably happening by, um, you know, kind of a blessed by the algorithm kind of thing. That, my video shows up in people's algorithm, and somehow the title is like the only thing that, gets people to click my shit. But some of them, I mean, they're being clicked on. I'm getting sometimes likes, dislikes, but no comments. Uh, Again, according to the analytics, only like, 2.5, at best 3.5 minutes are being watched on or listened to or whatever. Uh, I don't have any idea. Hold on, let me take a sip and a leak. I'll be right back. Alright, presumably, by the priority, kind of the, the priority of the all those images out there, it's getting lower than some of the other. Hold on, let me make an adjustment again. Why is this shit not working? Okay, it's getting blocking by the the clock thing. That's on the uh kind of left middle top of the screen. Somehow this taking like, hold on, let me try and move that shit. Mm, you know what? Since this is being recorded on like full HD, this probably big enough to be. All right, yeah, there you go. All right, you're getting smaller. The clock. So, uh, yeah, I have a. So, in the middle of like the 14th of February, I have new check of my pension coming up. It's yeah, it's almost there, and I can pay like off the pocket like immediately. Because I will be receiving pension in like 3 weeks. It's not much of a you know, but yeah, the credit card thing. Apparently, uh, having the income from a pension and pension alone, they say that like what's your occupation? They ask it that way, but it's rather they're trying to ask you uh what your source of the income is really, and pensioner isn't much. It's not really considered like an occupation, but rather uh a source of income. You know, somebody in the question uh is getting income through pension. That's like one of the things that you get asked for submit to the credit card company, and they will have you examine it to see that whether somebody is trustworthy to you know they worry about, are they can they actually pay uh what they'll be using for whatnot. So this particular credit card company, it's very easy to pass that examination. uh or so I heard. So I tried, and it worked out. Originally, I will already have had the card received by uh January 12th. But shit happened, and excuse me. Sorry, I couldn't. I was unable to mute that thing. Very disgusting. Sorry about that. Anyway, yeah. Things happen, and the day I will be receiving a credit card gets delayed. Uh, 2 weeks further. Wait, was that? Yeah, it is. Presumably next week. Next Sunday, that is. They say, uh, quote, 2 weeks, unquote, from now on. So, if I'm gonna, if I am to take their word on it, then, uh, January 26th is where I will be receiving the credit card. I'll be using the different debit card. Uh, of course, debit card and the credit card, it works differently. For a debit card, uh, you have to have a uh cash, or rather, money in your account, right when you're trying to make a transaction. Whereas credit card, uh, you can pay. They'll pay you, presumably the bank or credit card. I don't know who they're paying, who's actually responsible for paying that shit. Anyway, um, you can, the transaction that is happen, the withdrawal from an account will happen a month, uh, like at the end of the 1 month later, or rather after, when you've used that credit card. That's how it works, right? So kind of cures my impulse buying problem and shopaholic thing. Although I've made a big list about, alright, what are the things that I want? Emphasis on want. Okay, I don't really need most of these stuff. It's just something I want as a luxury item, hobby. So I have this big list. It's big, but considering the amount of income that I will be getting, let's say on a monthly basis, even though the pension in Japan is uh getting, you get a check on it every other month, and when you get a check on it, it's a two month worth of money. So, well, it's not really different as uh getting checked on every month. It might as well be the case. So with pension, the particular pension that I'm on, uh, you get like um, let's see, how much is that? 73,000 yen per month. So that's a lot of money. More income than I've ever had my entire life. Probably it's going to stay that way for a very long time unless I get super freaking lucky with, you know, getting monetized by the YouTube, being able to collect ad revenue, and all that even happens. It's like it's not gonna happen. I will imagine in like the first year. It's never gonna. Yeah, it's definitely not going to happen in first year. See, actually, this is as of 20 seconds. In Japan, this is precisely. It has been precisely a month since I've started off as a, you know, content creator wannabe. And yes, granted, my video is getting clicked on, but so far I've had no luck on actually earning a subscriber. Not a single one. Take a look at my YouTube channel. There's nobody subscribing to me. There's 3 followers allegedly. No, there are 3 followers, but they're all bots. So, it's not anybody that really watches any of my content, much as coming back to them consistently. So it's a really more and more starting to realize firsthand how much of a vain hope it is to be um to expect any kind of monetary gain out of doing essentially making videos. So yeah, but I'm here to stick around for mm, it's been a month. It's only been a month. But as it has gone just as about as I expected. Poorly. Not really going anywhere. I guess, I really have a habit. People kind of in a judgmental way. People probably, see me as weird for, you know, talking to myself all the time, but I have other residents in the house. They probably can hear me. I mean, they can probably hear me, right now, as of, 4 p.m. When I'm trying to stream. They probably even put two and two together and figure it out. And that I'm streaming. And of course, yeah, good luck getting any kind of attention on trying to make a stream off of that shit. Anyway, going back to my income. Yes, I have a lot of things. I occasionally have. It's not really a good habit to have, but I can't help it. Um, just you know, keep looking at the online store all the time and thinking about you know spending your money on. Actually, not. It's not really about spending your money on. It's about actually buying and have the thing delivered to your doorstep. It's less about spending my money at all, and much less how much I spend my money on. I can get my uh buy impulse thing satisfied by making small purchases. You know, small. It doesn't have to be an expensive shopping to be able to feel that satisfactory of feeding my shopaholic, my addiction. Anyway, over the you know like years and years of having Amazon, different kinds of online uh stores, uh to this day, a lot of online store has their own website, because bigger platform like Amazon or Rakuten or Yahoo Shop or whatever it is, AliExpress, those will ask you to uh pay a tribute. So in order to avoid that, they will run their own website, and yeah, it's a lot of the times it's cheaper to go to their own website and buy things from there, because they're not they don't have to worry about uh the portion of cut, essentially getting taxed by the platform. So all those websites from everywhere and all kinds of shit, uh, hobby, anything that is necessary to light, kind of a, I guess, furniture. The only thing that is very call that absolutely necessary to my daily life is my computer. Yeah, when my computer breaks, I see it had already happened last year, a little bit before I get eligibility for pension. I had to ask my old man to uh borrow him some money and pay him back by the money that he's giving to me. But now, assuming that something of that my computer breaks, although having gone through that already, uh, not so while ago, I don't really see that happening anytime soon. But there's expenses that you have to pay for in urgent. In such cases, I have to ask again, my old man to borrow some money. Except this time, I actually have a means to pay him back because I actually have a legitimate income and not completely financially depending on him. So, you know, looking back my computer, what parts I'm building my own computer, by the way. What part of my computer is next on the line that is, you know, likely to break next? If I were a betting man, I will put my money on uh probably HDD that I've been using for 12 years. With Stalker 2 coming up and realizing that it's essential, you have to have an SSD, so I heard, in order to launch it at all. Uh, to get prepared for it, it's kind of an inevitability that I will have to, uh, not replacing it per se, uh, but it, I mean, my old, hard, my old disk will, stays where it is, and keep getting connected on my motherboard until the day it dies. If it died, then rest in peace. It's gonna, you know, I'm gonna have to take that shit off on my computer. There's a, mirroring, like a uh software, essentially copying whatever contents that it's in one hard drive to another one. So, in other words, you do not have to reinstall OS and do all kind of shit. Saving a lots of trouble is very important. So it's very essential for. I'm actually planning on buying a 2 terabyte SSD that's on the new uh like one that's M2, one that is being plugged in on directly on the motherboard. Allegedly it lasts longer, it's a lot faster. My The motherboard that I have my OS on is has five, supposed to have 500 gigabytes, where in reality it only has 460 gigabytes available. I have another hard drive kind of using as a backup, and this one does not have is the one that does not have my OS installed on. But I will have like my uh personal files, uh pictures, just pictures, alright? All kinds of pictures. Don't ask what it is. Music, that's very essential. I will have a shitload of CDs, but to import them one disc at a time is really pain in the ass. So to you know hoarding them in a form of data is very important. Other times they don't even have the CD available, and I have to buy it through Bandcamp or something. In any case, on kind of personal documents, I have my financial management, my diary, personal files, my diet and fitness, Excel file. Everything is in there, and I have to make a backup every month. I will make a backup. Backup. Yeah, there you go. Nothing, like $17. All right. Very. Well, any case, uh, let me see my. Yeah. Uh, Starting on from March, which is probably gonna come sooner than I would think. I guess. Starting on from March, I'm buying new SSD, and then uh, in May, uh, presumably they will already have had released the new graphic card that's being talked about. I'm thinking, hopefully, if I were to be optimistic about it, hold on, let me take a sip. Anyway, um, wait, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, graphic card. Right, graphic card. So initially, until they've decided that, they've announced that they're going to be releasing the new graphic card. They, as in, both GeForce and Radeon, AMD, both of these, big two, is going to be releasing a new generation of the graphic cards. Prior to their announcement, my initial plan was to buy Radeon RX 7800 XT, which, if it's getting discount, it can be purchased within 80,000 yen. So I'm hoping that within that price range, uh, hopefully, so the one game that I'm looking forward for, and of course, I am planning on making a video out of it, is that Stalker 2. Stalker 2, run by Unreal Engine 5. Well, I've talked to somebody who's played that game from day one. It's still poorly optimized, lots of glitch and bug. Is out there. Uh, a lot of things needs fixing and tweaking being required. But again, I guess people, more and more people are like, cutting some slack because of international affairs in Ukraine. They're in the middle of the war, have been for 2 years. Initially, have they did say that they were going to release Stalker 2 on 2022. Then the war broke out, and of course, it's really tragic that one of the developer killed in action. Uh, but really, kudos to the mod authors. Excuse me, the developers for uh, even if it's in the buggy state and lots of improvements. There's a whole lot of room for improvements is being expected. See, this is what I expected to happen, and why I did not start playing Stalker 2 from day one. Because of glitches, poorly optimizations, anything that has a needs improvement will, I guess, it's kind of sad to say, but that's to be expected with all kinds of AAA full price video game nowadays. But yeah, I have a very meticulously planned financially and all that. Actually, um, my initial plan was to uh, okay, so there was a changing in plans twice. Uh, First plan was buying Stalker 2 and the graphic card on December 2024. And then that was like back when they say that they were going to release Stalker 2 on late September, and then it got delayed to I think late November, and then I kind of decided to change my plan to buy graphic card along with the game itself on April 2025. which is it's not really right in the corner, but if it happened now with a another thing came up, which is releasing of the new graphic cards, new generation of graphic cards. They say uh presumably it's not going to get delayed like video games get delayed. uh they say they will have had the thing released by Q1. So in April, or rather in May, they will already have had things released. And that's when I decided that I'm going to buy the graphic card and the game itself and start playing the Stalker 2. Hopefully, by that time, uh, more hot fixes and patching and stuff is getting released on the game, and uh, more improvements are being made. They say that it's a very fun game and really, I have no doubt about that. I'm a huge fan of the Stalker franchise. I've played all three of them, modded, unmodded, very fun. Kind of one of the first video games that I played, that I bought it myself, and so it's more than just uh what content it has. It kind of has a more sentimental value to it. Hold on, let me. So yeah, it's really happy that Stalker 2 is has was released at all. First of all, uh, again, in spite of the Ukrainian war. So I'm really looking forward for playing Stalker 2. Of course, obviously, I'm going to make a video out of that. And then maybe people will start to pay attention to me. Who knows? Uh, my legs is kind of. Hold on. Let me. Ah! Hurts! Shit, something dropped. It's actually my magazine for Airsoft that I'm warming it up. Alright, anyway. Stalker 2. Hell yeah. I'm so excited about it. I haven't looked up anything about anything. I'm gonna play that shit without any freaking spoilers whatsoever. Because that's how committed I am to the idea of, just having fun with, enjoying it. So yeah, Stalker 2. Also, I did say that I am going to be doing some kind of game playthrough and upload a video of it. I still haven't forgotten about that. I've pretty much made up my mind about it already as to what game I haven't played. Alright, I'm gonna say it right now. It's a Fallout New Vegas, and certain series of modding quest mods that I'm planning on playing. Okay, I'm gonna bring up my, old, uh, old, save data if one is still lying around somewhere. I think they are. So yeah, I still haven't forgotten about that. The only thing I have to do is like, figuring out. Now, I'm probably not gonna be using OBS for that, even though it has some cool features about it. So all these, you know, driver for graphic cards, AMD Adrenaline or GeForce Shadow Play or whatever. They come with some sort of video recording uh program, you know, hardware, software. So I'm going to be using that instead of uh OBS or whatever else, and I'm gonna make subtitles. I think given the language that the mod and the games is, it's going to have to be in English, but of course I'm gonna be putting my subtitles on both of these language in Japanese and in English, so more accessibility for more people. Hold on, I have a water addiction. I'm gonna take a sip again. So thus far, uh, I'm taking a look at like my layout for OBS, which is going to be the display of uh how my stream looks like. And so far, aside from the occasional errors, that's to be expected. Occasional errors on the first language that I'm speaking right now. Uh, Translating to that from English to Japanese is very accurate. Um, like I said on X, really, I remember like 15 years ago, how oral translation was just very poorly done. It has come a very long way, as a technologically advanced uh the oral translation thing is. So it's really good, even without putting the auto sub like manually putting the subtitles on in Japanese. It's almost as if it's not entirely necessary to do so in Japanese. And of course, that's assuming that people will click and click enough, stay long enough to, you know, kind of listen to me talking. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. So, Stalker 2, I'm very excited. Fallout New Vegas, I'm gonna, I said I'm gonna do it. If anything, I will just take a pilot episode, as they will call it. Um, just episode 1 at the very least, will have been uploaded by the end of January, okay? So, maybe look forward for that. And by the way, looking at this content thing right now, uh, my video that I've uploaded yesterday talking about uh hard rock heavy metal for beginners, my 14 choices of albums that I want people to give it a shot at. Over the night, it already has gotten 26 clicks. That's that's pretty a lot more than I actually expected. Granted, you know, the duration of uh the video that people stuck around on was, you know, as to be expected, very poorly. However, it's still getting clicked on. Some feedback, kind of giving introspect on my own. That's redundant. Um, yeah, not introducing myself from the head of the video was not very polite thing to do. I don't know. Did my mom tell me not? Did my mom not tell me to introduce myself and not, be polite and all that? I'm pretty sure, I'm. She's like, my parents. She, my ma tried, but I didn't listen to a lot of things that she said that I should have listened to. She was more of a like the same goes with my old man. Uh, More like not really too too much on trying to tell me what to do. Because again, that's been tried, and at one point they've, well, actually my mom in particular, um, she uh has reached to her conclusion that it doesn't work. So, you know, she went from telling me what to do to, you know, just, dick around and try and figure out yourself. Kind of a, giving a lot of freedom. Of course, freedom comes with, responsibility and a consequence and all that. Anyway, uh, what was I saying? My money and my, Stalker 2. I will be seeing my ma, next, probably, she'll probably be there, uh, my ma, next Saturday or Sunday. uh, I had to be there and, essentially receive the credit card it requires me showing up in person and present a certification of sort. So I can't have her instead of me answering the mailman and receive the credit card for me. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. So going back to my mom's place, I live with my old man, but I live with my mom separately. Anyway, yeah, when my credit card arrived and, being able to have accessibility to make all the fucking purchases that I planned in on with the next pensions check. Oh my god. The the amount of serotonin that it's going to generate in my, brain. Holy dog shit. Yeah, all the wrong or right in the world and all that. Anyway, I'm really looking forward for it. This has, unlike the yesterday's stream, which was essentially talking about my music and, obsession, uh, a brief review of Linkin Park's new album, how the the other album than their first two albums are really seriously being slept on, and that people should listen to them. You know, what are the albums? Living Things, Minute to Midnight, and all that. Of course, the new album From Zero is pretty good. People need to really, you know, I guess, I mean, I can only imagine. I'm not gonna say it. Too grammarized by so many people. The just the first two albums in particular. So, uh, when in reality, Linkin Park has never really changed the music kind of a music style. It just went from, a really catchy song being played from one to the next to, little slightly longer, but still very catchy and still sound the Linkin Park that everybody knows and love. So yeah, that being said, I'm gonna say that again in English, even though I've talked about it in yesterday. From Zero is, even though I've talked about people should listen to other albums as well. Let's face it, there's no denying that the first two albums were the most popular ones from that particular band. That being said, From Zero is more reminiscent to the first two albums that everybody loved. Even though they have the different vocals, the Chester always had the high-pitched vocal. Uh, this new vocal that the band was joined by is actually a female vocalist, Emily. Uh, it really doesn't have. It sounds just as they were before. It it pretty much the same. Not well, incredibly similar. So yeah, very recommended. If anything, it's really a collection of very short and catchy songs. As a whole album, though, uh, the album itself, the length of it isn't really that long. So listening through it through the album isn't is really good. So yeah, I made a clip about it too, and the fucking clip didn't get a lot of fucking click, unfortunately. Um, I so far, trying to remember what was talking about in this video. In some streams, there are things that like really worthy of getting clipped on. Some of the moments and things that I've said and all that, blah blah blah. But I don't think I'm gonna be making clip out of this one in particular. Uh, I'm not thinking of making one as of now. It's been like hour and 20 minutes, like 80 minutes. I'll be ending the stream by 6 p.m. I'm gonna so yeah, it's going back to the financial management. You know what I'm spending most of my money on? It's a fucking airsoft shit. I know. Everybody has a different hobby. It's like, it's not really wrong to judge everybody's hobby. It's, unless, it's like that scene in The Sopranos, where Bobby is very obsessive with the, model train, and Janice and Tony is belittling them. It's really judgmental, not nice, just in general. Even coming from these fucking people. So yeah, anybody has no particular hobby has kind of a poor understanding of someone getting into something, personally, financially, emotionally invested in something so much that is their hobby. And people that do not have their hobby, I don't think they have a very clear understanding of the importance of having a hobby at all. I mean, it's not like I'm being completely financially irresponsible with it. So okay, I have my own uh daily expenses. I partially buy my own food, like grocery, and subscription program. Well, it's just Amazon Prime, but other kind of subscription program I might just join. Like uh this one in particular program that I'm using has a it's free to offer program, uh kind of a subscription program is becoming financial support in uh maintaining the support and keep the thing running. uh there's a all kinds of crowdfunding and subscription program is out there occasionally to support individual content creator and all that. For this particular one though, excuse me, 500 yen per month seems to be very financially feasible. Just 500 yen. So yeah, I might just planning on joining it just to see if it improves. If it, investing in the future and trying to improve it even further, uh, all that translation and, uh, you know, the generating the, hold on, my fucking AC. Yeah, as a future investment to the, more advancement on the technology, if anything, I could just, support them to. It doesn't come with no reward. It does come with a reward. So I could try and, go for that. Let's see. So slowly, trying to manage my, how I will spend my money on with each check of the pensions, the pension. With next 5 years, I will have had the things running out. The things that I will buy will be essentially the list of things that I want to buy will be very slim. At that point, it's an inevitability that I'll be starting to save up some money. It just kind of happened that way. Of course, when it comes to hobby like an airsoft, or I'm sure other hobbies are like that as well. When you get greedy, when you start to get greedy even further, you can spend as much money as you've got. I mean, seriously. So at some point, I'm gonna have to call it like, alright, that's it. I'm I'm pretty much done with buying a lot of new shit. It's not really a whole lot of things that I want anymore. That day will come in a very foreseeable future. Maybe by the end of the next year, it may just happen already. 2026. I'm getting ahead of myself. It's that see that the 2025 has just started. Granted, the January is about to end. We're at the ending of the January. But yeah, somebody once told me that, oh, you be end up saving some money, you know. And I think there's some truth to what that guy said. It really, you know, stuck with me about what he said. I, with the income that I have right now, and it's steady, very steady, not having to depend on my old man, uh, less kind of a feel of guilt attached to it. So, yeah, even though in 5 years I don't have to spend, excuse me, save up some money for to accumulate essentially a life saving money to live in, to live it off in the future. With my income though, let's not take how much I could potentially make out of making a video into account. Let's take that out of the equation, okay, for a second. Let's say I'm making, I'm receiving like 876,000 yen per year. 876,000 yen. There you go. And I cannot live. It's basically the truth with many pensions and many grades of pensions, I will imagine, that basically you cannot make a living solely off of pension. So at one point I have to have another source of income, not the monetization of YouTube withstanding. Um that's really as unstable as it can get. Really, if I can even get to that level at all, ever, if ever. So, as somebody who cannot work a job for mental illness and all that, past trauma in life or working a job. A lot of reasons. There are lots of reasons that I'm unemployed for life. For somebody like that and having a history of not work not have a working history of mental illness for sustaining years, uh being a recipient of pension for decades, um it's not to say that it's I'm going to have an easy time applying for welfare. I don't think that's the case. Even though the poverty in Japan is on the rise. In 20 or even 40 years, next 40 years, there's a chance that more and more people are having to be depending on the welfare. I have been in that state right now, actually. Granted, not having to uh, do so because my parents are still alive, but they don't. I mean, they're not here. They don't live long forever. So once my old man passes, I'm gonna have to think about before even get to you know my old man being gone. I'm gonna have to be kind of thinking about how I'm going to make it in the future, not just completely being depending on the welfare. Did I start making videos in hopes of making money? It would be a lie if I say no to that. Yes, with maybe 15 to 20 years of uh, slow grind, I might be able to make maybe 20,000 yen, 20,000 yen per month if I'm lucky. Okay? I don't even count on that on next 5 years. Not that I have to though. In next 5 years, there's very high chance that my old man will still be alive and still being able to live with him. And of course, I'll be receiving the disability pension for the rest of my life. Every 1 to 5 years, you have to take a renewal in order to keep receiving the disability pension. Basically, submit the doctor's note to the pension office, and they will see it and determine that whether they're still in that condition condition bad enough to be eligible for uh you know um receiving a pension. They say that depression can be cured, which I don't have any doubt about that. For some people though, I'm sure I'm I'm pretty sure they can overcome the depression and uh become mentally healthier. But my depression though, it's kind of a different. Looking back in my life in my childhood, there has always been a hint that I was born with the depression all along. It only took like, one uh very big trauma, big event that traumatized me, that essentially became a trigger to my depression and made myself realize that, oh, I have a depression. Maybe there's something wrong with me mentally. Oh, also have, you know, developmental disorder, which after learning that I have a developmental disorder, I was always kind of a slow, not slow as in kind of a, retarded. Oh, you can't say that R word? Okay, I see. Well, that's fine. As in, like a, slow as in, slow for somebody with my age, in comparison to other kids that's, with my age. So, looking back my childhood and how I grew up and all that, my upbringings, it only makes sense that I've had developmental disorder all along. It's just, huh, figures. So that's that. I don't believe either of those mental condition will ever be cured. Never say never, but it's being at the stalemate for sustaining years. Tried all kinds of medication. I've been stuck with the same medication for a year, possibly for 2 years. I have sleep deprivation. Well, that also had that's attributed more to my caffeine addiction, but that's less of a problem among all the problems that I have with my body, physically, mentally. Occasionally, my your mental problem is directly associated with your physical problem, like lack of serotonin. Like depression causes you to essentially having problem with your digestion system. So I was always a skinny kid, and trying to my mom will cook me a dinner, right? And then trying to eat all of them as I was taught to, and then I start to throw up, and she'll ask me like, "Why? Why do you throw up?" Well, I didn't really have any idea. It was only after I started seeing psychiatrists that I've realized that it is part of a depression, that, you know, kind of a lacking appetite, uh, my problem with my digestion system. I'm little right now, as of 2025, I'm no longer skinny. I'm relatively heavier than for somebody with my height. For my height and my weight is classified, but hold on. That's because I've worked out, and I put some muscle over the years. Although I've suffered to exercise addiction, kind of gave me a different perspective. It's Is it just a mere procrastination? I can't necessarily that say that to be the case. There may be more to it than just, I don't want to say being lazy about anything. But at one point when it comes to exercising, you have to push yourself into uh get started. In order to get it started though, I've had history of kind of you know, maybe developed a fear in exercise or something like that. I'm not sure. But I've been, at the very least, working out. Maybe I'm not like completely off the gym. Well, I don't go to gym actually. I have actually a home gym. I'm a home gym guy kind of guy. My other half of the room is occupied by the mattress to mitigate uh the all the impact that I have when I do shit like, uh any kind of thing that, touches the dumbbell barbell on the floor directly. And I have half rack, barbell, weight, plate adjustable dumbbell, and a pull up bar with dip station on it. Maybe try to stay off of working out a little bit more and then give it a perspective. I don't want to completely get off of working out and entirely remove that from part of my life. That is nothing about that is positive. Maybe take only like slightly, you know, slow down to maybe one exercise or even one, you know, set of different exercises per week, making it only having to work out. Emphasis on having to. I don't want to say that word anymore. It implies that, I have a sense of, you know, obligation attached to it. Kind of a, being compulsory to the idea of, oh, I have to work out, I have to work out, I have to work out. You know, that kind of mindset is what led me to develop an exercise addiction in the first place. So, in a subconscious level, I may still have that, you know, sense of compulsory attached to it. So, I don't particularly have, like a schedule that I tell myself that I have to stick with it. I just walk out when I feel like it. That's that's the kind of attitude I'm taking towards the exercise nowadays. See, with coming with depression, no one really knows. That includes myself. If I can't even tell if it's a legitimate symptom of, depression or all that, or uh, a mere, you know, my mind being weaker, or, procrastination, being lazy and all that. I don't like to uh, think it that way. I'm sure there's a legitimate reason for, just in general, somebody to be lazy about something. So I don't kind of have that idea, not to think of it that way. Part of the complete overhaul of the mindset when it comes to exercising. Have a realistic goal. Don't have the the sense of compulsory attached to it. What else? Well, don't feel guilty or get feel defeated when you missed working out or unable to work out. You know, not being able to, whatever that may be. Uh, just missed working out is, don't feel too much about it. Don't think too much about it. So just mild light exercise, walking outside of the door, uh that's part of it. Exposing yourself to sunlight is a crucial part in uh improving your depression. It has to be you have to be exposed on the sunlight directly. It cannot be any kind of light source or through the curtain or through the window. You have to go to the balcony or step outside and directly getting exposed to the sunlight. And for somebody to even bring themselves to do that is like they're at the critical condition of the depression. It's a sign. Some people, you know, unable to do just a basic, uh, basic action in your daily life. Cleaning your room, uh, taking care of your hygiene, um, turn on your lights in your room, sleep depravity, uh, eating disorder, not drinking enough water. You know, things like that. Unable to, afraid of stepping outside, isolation, fear of people. Isolation with family is something I know I have problem with, but I just can't help it. I'm so in person or even in through the internet, it doesn't matter. Based on the fact that right in front of me, not in a like a logistic kind of way, uh, you know, somebody else, based on the fact that it is some other person than myself. It doesn't matter if it's family or your friend or whatever. And then you're afraid to just have a fear of having social interaction with them. In my particular case, I can summon a response, yes, but to engage a, in a conversation, starting a conversation from my end, it takes a lot of determination and uh, all that. It's really difficult for me to do it. So some of the basic functions in our daily lives, again, has it's not just being, procrastination or, being lazy. When somebody is unable to, you know, keep failing to bring themselves to uh, take certain action, there may be a legitimate uh, explanation behind it. So yeah, any kind of sign that, oh, this guy cannot help people to do this. This guy absolutely cannot, say, clean their room, you know, cannot just absolutely refuses to uh, put lights on in your room or whatever. Those things like that are really part of the symptom, and having those symptoms is a hint that somebody has a mental problem. You have to have formally, have doctor formally, declaring that you have, getting diagnosed with certain condition, or even the tendency of condition uh, is considered a diagnosis. What am I going to do about it? I don't know. No medication, no, cleaning up of the room, stepping outside, which it also takes a lot of determination. I can't just easily go outside and, take a walk and all that. You have no idea. Well, you might, for somebody who is suffering the same condition or the similar condition, even if it just says the depression, everybody's symptom is different. So yeah, I started rambling about uh, mental condition and all that. I mean, it's a sensitive. I understand that people see that as a sensitive matter, but personally, I believe that it should be discussed openly, and there should absolutely be no stigma attached to it. There's, mental condition tags on Twitch, the Twitch streaming. I'm putting depression and developmental disorder because that may be something that I just talk about. I don't want to wear it like a badge and, you know, make my identity, but that's just, can't be disassociate myself with who I am. So, yeah, that's a little bit over the 2 hours, but I'm ending the stream right now. Thanks for watching. I'll be streaming the usual time in Japanese tomorrow. So yeah, later.